And our own Brett Baird joins me now live from Washington on the phone to explain what he's felt down there. Brett, what do we know?
Hey, Megan. We were in the office in the D.C. Bureau. As you know, it's right up next to the Capitol, right near Union Station. Big glass building. I was in my office and kind of felt a shudder. And the building kind of went side to side and thought it was nothing. And then it was a bigger side to side, and the whole building kind of was shaky. You look outside, and the windows were shaking. There's not any damage on the building, but the fire alarm went off. We started getting calls from Capitol Hill of our producers not knowing what happened, originally thinking, something hit the Capitol or something, but then word that it looked like an earthquake. Everybody's evacuated. I'm standing outside our building with hundreds of people from our building, essentially out on the street waiting for authorities to kind of tell us what the deal is. Nobody's hurt, and there's no damage to the building, but it was something to feel here in the middle of the nation's capital, the floor completely shake side to side, and everybody ran out of the building using the stairs.
They're saying now, Brett, that the epicenter was between Charlottesville and Richmond, Virginia. That is not the suburban D.C. area. That's a considerable distance away, and yet it is affecting not just Washington, D.C., but all the way as far north, they can tell you firsthand experience, to New York City. Now they're saying, according to Reuters, that it was a magnitude 6.0 earthquake. Initially reported at 5.8 magnitude. This one now updated to have been a 6.0 quake, striking the United States East Coast.
Of all up and down around the capital city area of major shaking, and no reports of damage, just anecdotally what we're hearing here in D.C. But I can tell you that I'm standing in the middle of the street, and the Capitol is evacuated. There are thousands of people streaming out of the Capitol building, even though most people aren't around here. Most of Congress is gone, but there's still folks who are working in and around the Capitol area, and everybody's on the streets and waited. The fire alarms are kind of going off. We just got past details. Now, Virginia is saying significant shake down there in the Alexandria area, and you just reported 5.8 down there at the epicenter.
And now updated to a 6.0 magnitude, Brett. Now we've been told that the Pentagon has been evacuated, that the Capitol has been evacuated. Would they evacuate the White House, given that the president is not there? What can we expect at the Supreme Court, at the other federal buildings in Washington, D.C.? And just want to tell our viewers, on screen right is Times Square. On screen left is a view of the Capitol Dome in Washington, D.C. New York City, Times Square feeling this. Boston feeling this. The epicenter, we're told, again, down in Virginia, in between Charlottesville and Richmond, VA. Brett?
Yeah, well, I can tell you that any federal building will be evacuated. So I assume the White House falls under that category, and there will be evacuations there, even though the president's staff are in Martha's Vineyard. I can tell you that as a precaution, police are now streaming the streets. Here comes some authorities trying to get people to the side of the road. And people are just out and about waiting to hear what is going on. I'll also say that, this was a pretty quick event, at least from our perspective. It only lasted a few seconds, but clearly everybody felt it throughout Washington, D.C.